What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Boogie Snacks. You could go ahead and call me Boogie. With the holiday season quickly approaching, you might be looking for some manga for a loved one or perhaps yourself. Now, I know I'm not the only one buying manga for myself this holiday season. Now, in today's video, not only am I going to give you 20 plus manga recommendations of series that you should be able to easily find in today's manga buying market, but there's also a special guest in today's video which I can't wait to introduce you to. And on top of everything, I also have some creative gift ideas for perhaps if you want to get something else other than manga that a manga lover or collector might enjoy. But if you're into anime, manga, or just like the vibes here in general, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I have a lot of fun videos coming out soon that I can't wait to show you. But before we go ahead and jump on into today's video, I want to leverage the community that we have right now to help a lot of the people that are looking for presents down below in the comment section. Question number 1 would be, what would be a manga that you would recommend to a beginner? And question number 2 would be, where are you in the world? What country are you from? I don't think we've ever done that on the channel. Just that alone would be interesting to see. But also, what manga is easily accessible to you right now? I think that would help a lot of people because I'm based in the United States, but perhaps you're shopping for someone that is outside of the United States. Okay, but with that being said, we've had enough chitter chatter. We have a lot to get into for today's video, and I have someone to introduce you to as well. So I will see you in just a second. Now, I do want to give some props to the parents or the friends or the older siblings or the older cousins. You guys know what I'm talking about, for at least finding this video and trying to do some research in finding some manga for your loved one or manga related things. I think that's absolutely so wholesome, and to be honest, I'm sure just the gesture of you trying to get something, regardless of whether they like it or not, I'm pretty sure the otaku in your family, the manga reader in your family, the anime lover in your family will absolutely just appreciate the effort. Now, when a lot of people hear manga collector, their brain immediately goes to physical copies. While I agree that most of the time when someone is referring to the term manga collector, they are referring to physical copies, there is a huge amount of people in the community that read digital, and sometimes we find people that read digital only. In fact, that is becoming increasingly popular as the years go by. Now, this is a perfect segue into the Viz Media app. So for $1.99 a month, your loved one or yourself will get access to a bunch of Viz Media titles in their vault, and you can read up to 100 chapters a day. Now, if you've never read a manga before, 100 chapters, I know there's some of us that can read that in a day. That's very true, but for the huge portion of us, that is more than enough that you would read in a day. We're talking about Naruto, One Piece, Black Clover, One Punch Man, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, Sakamoto Days, Golden Kamuy, Tokyo Ghoul, and Tokyo Ghoul Re. And those are just a few off of the top of my head that I could recommend to you that would be on the app. There is so much more to discover on that app. We don't have time to nearly get into all of that. Now, there is a reason why I brought up the subscription-based services and digital manga before we started talking about actual physical manga itself. Now, I've been making videos on YouTube for about 2 years, and slowly but surely I have sort of become the manga guy in my friend circle. And by becoming the manga guy, of course I have tried to buy manga for my friends for birthdays, holidays, the likes of it. And what I've personally learned is buying physical manga for someone is always a gamble. So typically, I always recommend, unless you know exactly what they're looking for, or genres that they like, or what they're not looking for, I typically tend to step away from recommending someone to buying physical manga for someone. If we just happen to get the gift of manga this holiday season, regardless of if it was a series we were collecting or not, it's gonna put a smile on their face. But I would be more keen to recommend someone giving a gift card if you truly don't know. In today's manga buying environment, some of the series that they're looking for, or some of the volumes in the series that they're looking for, are most likely out of stock. So if you give them the gift of a gift card, you're enabling them to buy the manga that they want when it's in stock. But let's say you want to get some physical manga, something to unwrap, and I feel you with that, so let's dive into the manga recommendations here. I have 20 plus, they're gonna go by quickly. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. Most of the series on this list are going to be manga that are relatively easier to find right now, because I did just mention that a lot of manga is chronically out of stock. Number one is going to be Vinland Saga. Now, this series is going to be for the older crowd, definitely. Okay, this is a seinen, so it's already marketed towards someone that may be a little bit older or a little more mature, fighting, more mature scenes having to do with, you know, blood, guts, sword slashing, cursing, themes with women, so on and so forth. So if you're a parent, just FYI on that. If you got them some of Vinland Saga, if they don't own any already, they're wonderful hardcovers. I highly recommend it. Go ahead and check it out. Number two is Wotakoi. Wotakoi is once again geared towards the older audience. It is a rom-com slash slice of life series that focuses around on adults in an office job, a 9-to-5 setting, sort of falling in love, working on friendships together, all while being an otaku. This is going to be great for being highly relatable, very comedic, and just overall a darling, cute, cozy little read. The 5th volume just got released, so I think it would be a great present if someone got a few volumes of Wotakoi for Christmas. Next is Berserk. Now I have a few volumes of Berserk here right now. Definitely one of the most popular series on my channel and in the manga community, especially right now. It is a must read. I'm collecting all of them before I do my giant binge read, but just so you know, if the loved one is asking for Berserk, there is explicit content in here, so they're gonna come wrapped up. So if you're a parent, just FYI on that. It's going to cover some very, very dark themes in this series, some mature topics. For sure, it's a classic and highly regarded as one of the best manga series to read for a reason. But just so you know, there are single editions, which are the ones that I'm collecting right now, so it's individual volumes, one by one by one by one, but there's also deluxe omnibus editions, which of course will be a little more expensive. You'll have to make the choice for yourself, but chances are if they're asking for Berserk, 9 times out of 10 of what I've seen online, maybe 8 times out of 10, they're asking for the deluxe editions. Now let's talk about a current series that have been taking the manga community by storm, and that's going to have to be Blue Period. I have Blue Period Volume 1 right here. This is going to be for the art lovers in the household, or maybe someone that would appreciate a nice slice of life series. I haven't dived into this one too much, but it has a lot of buzz going around as of right now, and I absolutely love the premise as a former art school student myself. At the time of recording this video, I believe that there's 5 volumes out for Blue Period, so definitely a good few amount of volumes to really sink some time into and have some great holiday reading. Quickly moving on over, we are making great timing here. Let's talk about Zom 100, the zombie series that have been taking the manga community by storm. This is such a great read. Now, is it the heaviest thing in the world and the most intellectually stimulating read? Definitely not, but I don't think every series has to be this way. I think the pacing is great here, the characters are great, the premise is great, definitely a very unique take on zombies. So if you're looking for a comedic yet somewhat serious yet just charming read all together, check out Zom 100. There's 4 volumes out at the time of recording this video, so that's definitely some material to sink your teeth into. Moving on over, let's quickly talk about Blue Giant. Blue Giant is going to be for the music lovers in the family or friend group, or perhaps even purchasing for yourself. This is such a wonderful series, and it has been a joy to read this, especially someone that has been in music school, and music has been a huge part of my life. The whole premise is that it's following a high school student fall in love with jazz music while playing the saxophone and growing up trying to become a professional jazz player. Quickly moving along, let's talk about Ajin. Now this is volume 1. Quick little disclaimer, now I know a lot of the series that I've been talking about should be relatively easy to find. Ajin, on the other hand, it's going to be a gamble. I was able to find a few volume 1s, so which is why it made its way onto the list. So let's talk about Ajin really quickly. Ajin is going to be great for someone that likes a somewhat mysterious sort of sci-fi adventure that has a lot of mystery and a lot of action and a decent amount of volumes. There's 16 volumes out, and I believe there's 1 more until it's done in its entirety, so it's actually a great time to get into Ajin. And just for the record, I can't wait for that last volume of Ajin to come out. It's honestly something that I look forward to, and it's a really good read. Moving along, let's talk about Mason Ikoku. Now, this is a rom-com put out by Rumiko Takahashi. These are the collector's edition, so right off of the bat, the page quality is great, the cover quality is really good. This would be a very good present to unwrap over the holidays. There are 5 volumes out of the collector's edition right now. I highly recommend it. These can get a little bit pricey, so I wouldn't recommend picking all of them up at once, but I believe Mason Ikoku would make for a great holiday read. Next is a series called Yona of the Dawn. This is going to be for those shoujo lovers. Pure romance with a little bit of adventure, a lot of bit of mystery, and just overall great cast of characters. I cannot stress how much I really do enjoy the entire premise of Yona of the Dawn. Now, one thing you should know about Yona of the Dawn is that if you're buying it for someone physically, it is a little bit of a commitment if they choose to continue on collecting it physically. They have a lot of volumes out right now. I think it's in the 30s at this point. So just FYI on that. But if they do like a good romance series and they haven't checked out Yona of the Dawn, do yourself a favor, pick them up a few volumes of, in my opinion, a very, very, very good romance series. This is Horimiya Volume 1. Once again, if you like romance, if you like a little more mature topics with a very, very fun, well-written cast of characters, with a little bit more of a modern pacing and definitely less volumes than Yona of the Dawn, go for Horimiya. And chances are, if they're asking for this, they've seen the anime and they want to collect the manga and get ahead of the anime, so I highly, highly, highly recommend Horimiya. Next is a series that I actually haven't bought yet, but want. Family, if anyone's watching this video, hint, hint. But this is volume number 1 of a series that just came out physically, which is Kaiju number 8. This is going to be your action-packed mystery sort of sci-fi series. I can't recommend it enough. The reviews are absolutely stellar, and during my live streams, in the comment sections of my videos, I mean, I am getting hit up in the DMs if I've checked out Kaiju number 8. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I do believe that I am. There's 1 volume out. If you can find it, it will make a great gift for your loved one. Quickly moving along, let's talk about a little bit more of a mature series that would be definitely not for the beginner reader unless they're very enthusiastic about reading manga. I do want to bring to your attention Blade of the Immortal. Now, this series, I understand that it will not be for everyone as it covers some very, very adult topics, and the art style is absolutely amazing, but the price point is where it's gonna get you. Now, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This series, I would not buy for someone unless they were specifically asking for Blade of the Immortal. There are 2 versions of Blade of the Immortal out right now, much like the Berserk singles and the Berserk deluxe editions. They have these omnibus editions, which most of us know from the spines, seeing them in comic book shops for years and years and years. However, there is a new deluxe version that is releasing. It is a little bit pricey, but from what I know and from what I've seen, holding it in stores, very much worth the money. I'm not gonna collect them because I own all of the series in the omnibus edition, but if they're asking for Blade of the Immortal, go ahead and check it out. Right along, let's talk about the next series, which is the exact opposite of Blade of the Immortal. Let's walk into wholesome land with Komi Can't Communicate. Especially after the anime came out, a lot of people are jumping on the Komi Can't Communicate train. It is such a wholesome read. It is a slice of life romance series that has a genuinely adorable premise. If they're asking for Komi Can't Communicate for the manga, they probably have already seen the anime and this is why they're asking for the manga, but it's honestly so good. I highly recommend Komi Can't Communicate. Next is a series that I'm going to recommend if you can find it. This is going to be one of the more difficult ones to buy. However, you should be able to find the latest volume release of Chainsaw Man. If you can find a volume of Chainsaw Man, it is a very hot series to own right now. Jam-packed adventure, phenomenal characters, the anime's coming out soon. Overall, just a really popular series in the community, and it would make for a great gift. I get a lot of slack for not having read or watched JoJo's yet. However, I know the hype. I've actually checked out some of the manga since making my original post a long time ago. Just FYI, there is a series called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. There's a new season of the anime that's out right now, and there's a lot of hype buzzing around JoJo's right now. Well, always, let's be real, there's always hype around JoJo's. There is a phenomenal physical hardcover release for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I highly recommend that as a gift, especially if you've seen them watch some of the anime on Netflix or wherever they're watching the anime. So if they've been at all interested in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that would be a great place to start. Now, if you, your loved one, you're someone in your friend circle are asking for a horror series, something like that, I think there is no bigger mangaka in that area than Junji Ito. They might own something from Junji Ito already, so I recommend asking what they own already and then going to a bookshop and asking for a recommendation. Chances are they have at least some Junji Ito in the local Barnes & Noble or local comic book shop. Next is art books. Most series, especially if they're bigger, they definitely have an art book to them. Now, if I were to buy an art book right now, I would definitely go for the Tokyo Ghoul art book, but there are One Piece art books. I mean, you name it, there are so many art books out there, and it can make for a very unique present. So all you'd have to do is Google whatever series that you're thinking about buying and then art book and see what pops up. Once again, my recommendation are the Tokyo Ghoul art books. Absolutely phenomenal. I cannot wait to own all of them, but do some research and art books. I just go in that direction and I believe there's a good present at the other end of that tunnel, okay? Next, as we're moving along, now I know this isn't manga, but it has a lot to do with manga. We've mentioned One Piece here before several times. There is a new One Piece cookbook that has just come out. I mean, it is brand new, especially at the time of making this video. Now, have a little common sense if they would even be into owning a cookbook or not, but if they are, and they are also One Piece fans, I can't think of a better gift this holiday season. I mean, I can't wait to own the darn thing myself. Let's say you want to get into some of the more wholesome series, really cute series, and things that you can just cuddle up with a hot chocolate or a nice warm tea or coffee. These are two series that I highly recommend. Number one is going to be Laid Back Camp. This follows a group of girls as they go camping throughout Japan. Absolutely phenomenal art, whether it be in the anime or the manga, and just overall phenomenal story. It's definitely going to scream cozy vibes as you're reading this. Next is going to have to be a series that I always reference whenever I'm talking about Laid Back Camp because there is some overlap happening. Days on Fez actually has to do with some camping, but it more focuses around the Japanese music scene and concert scene. Very, very cool vibes here. Absolutely chill, wholesome, slice of life series, so I highly recommend Days on Fez. There may be one thing that I haven't mentioned and you're probably thinking about it right now, and a lot of you are probably saying, Boogie, where are the light novels? Well, that is a whole world to dive into, and there are some light novels that are manga and some manga that are Now, if you don't know what a light novel is, here is an example. This is ReZero. I highly recommend this as a light novel. I have the first 2 volumes here on my shelf, but this is what it looks like inside, as the name suggests. It is a novel. There are some pictures and some light novels have more illustrations than others, but you are buying them more of a traditional book feel. This is a very, very popular subject here in the manga community. A lot of people really do enjoy light novels, and there are some manga based off of light novels. It can get kind of confusing, so make sure that if they're asking for the light novel version or the manga version, that is something to be aware of. The more I think about light novels, the more this sort of example is true. Unless they're asking for a very specific light novel, I would not dive into that world unless it is a specific request for a present. Now, if you don't know what a box set is, this is a box set. This is the One Piece box set. I have all 3 that are out right now, and let's give you some examples of box sets that you could actually buy this holiday season, unlike these One Piece box sets, unfortunately. A box set is essentially a collectible or collector's item where it has a bunch of a series or the whole series, depending on the size of the manga itself, inside of this collectible box, okay? Now, most will have Velcro, some don't though. And you open it up and this is what it would look like inside. So it should have individual volumes inside of this. And then there's also typically a fold out poster, a double-sided poster, and some sort of pamphlet or little tchotchke inside of the box set itself. These are really popular in the manga collecting community and make for a very, very good gift. Because they're such a hot ticket item, the ones that may be really difficult to find right now that your loved one might be asking for or is probably asking for are the following: Tokyo Ghoul or the Tokyo Ghoul Rebox sets if they're asking for the Demon Slayer, One Piece, Akira, Death Note, Assassination Classroom, or the Bleach box sets. Those may be very difficult to find and they're very, very popular right now. So just FYI on that one. Now, while I can't guarantee anything, these box sets are more likely to be in stock as of right now. The Legend of Zelda Legendary Edition box set, Nichijou 15th Anniversary box set, Silent Voice the box set, various Attack on Titan season box sets, the original Dragon Ball Complete box set and the Pokemon Adventures box set. So let's say you've already purchased some manga, whether it be a single edition, an omnibus, a collector's edition, a collector's omnibus edition. One of my favorite parts about making these holiday types of videos is getting to collab with a new creator every year. And one is a new friend that I've made here on YouTube, and her name is Joanne. I absolutely love her content, so go ahead and show her some love. I'll leave a link to her channel down below. Her channel is all about manga and anime figures, and you've guessed it, this next portion of the holiday shopping guide here for 2021 will talk about figures. And since I'm not an expert on figures, I'm going to pass off the video to someone who is. I will see you in just a second.
That's all passengers on flight 152.
Hey everyone, my name is Joanne and I am so honored to be part of Boogie's holiday video. Thank you so much for including me. I am currently traveling right now for work. I could not pass up this opportunity and I really wanted to share my thoughts on, what a fellow figure collector would love, or maybe someone just dipping their toes into the figure collecting world might like for the holidays. Alright, so a little bit of background on myself. I love anime and I love manga. And I also love cute things. So it started off as buying, cute little charms and art prints. Now I have over 100 figures in my collection and I have so much more on the way. Alright, so if you are currently shopping for someone who either already has a collection or is interested in purchasing figures, these are my recommendations. Let's start with the budget-friendly option. I would highly recommend going with a pop-up parade. Now this line of figures I feel like was really popular this year. There were so many different pre-orders for so many different shows and a lot of very popular shows. So this I think is a very great intro to figures, and because they're small, light, compact, and pretty inexpensive, they range from about $38 to maybe $42, and just a level of detail that is captured in those tiny figures at that price point I think is really great, and I'm sure would delight the recipient of your gift. Alright, next on the list is more of the middle of the road price range. I would highly recommend picking up 1 or 2 Nendoroids or a scale figure from the Kotobukiya line. So Nendoroids are about 4 inches tall. They feature characters from almost any anime, game, even Disney Western show that you can think of. They're so cute and it is what started my addiction. They are really easy to just display together, and yeah, I don't know, I love Nendoroids, so they range between $50 to, some of them could be as expensive as $70, which that is very expensive for a Nendoroid, but I think typically they're around the $50 range. So picking up a Nendoroid I think for a friend or family member would be a great option for the middle of the road. If you're looking for a really nice scale figure that will not break the bank, I would highly recommend checking out the Kotobukiya line of figures. They tend to range from about $100 to $120. Highly recommend checking them out. Currently, I think I saw the re-release of Eren from Attack on Titan and Nino from Quintessential Quintuplets in store, so check those out. I would highly recommend purchasing Kotobukiya figures. Excellent quality for the price. And to close out the recommendations for figures, if you are looking for a luxury, high price tag, I would recommend checking out the Eastream line of figures. I think if you're looking for premium, that is as premium as you're gonna get in the figure collecting world right now. I believe on RightStub I just saw the Rem, Amelia, and Ram Idol figures that just came in. They are so beautiful. Definitely check those out if you've got some extra cash this holiday. Alright, so that will wrap it up for me for my recommendations for figure collectors or people interested in figures for this holiday season. I would say if you're looking for a manga recommendation, I would highly suggest Yuru Camp or Laid Back Camp. It is the most coziest, comfiest story and my go-to right now after a long day of work or after a long day of school. You just want to cuddle up with a nice story filled with heartwarming and wholesome characters doing heartwarming and wholesome things. If that sounds appealing, please check it out. The manga's amazing, the anime is amazing, everything about it is amazing. They also have amazing figures, so check those out. Thank you so much again, Boogie, for inviting me. It means so much. I hope this has been a little bit helpful at least. And yeah, tossing it back to you.
Okay, well, welcome back with me, Joanne. I already watched your part of the video while editing, and it was so sweet of you to give all of those recommendations. Thank you once again for collaborating with me. But I know I'm not a figure guy, but I do want to give my recommendation. This is a big ticket item, but this would totally make a One Piece fan's Christmas. This is the really big edition of the Thousand Sunny. This is a model kit. I can't even get it without reflections. This is such a good gift. I'll make sure to have some really good B-roll in there. Now, this is very expensive. This is hundreds of dollars, so definitely this is a big ticket item. I'm not expecting anyone's budget to incorporate this for someone. Like I said, I bought this for myself, but if it is within your budget, this would make someone's day. This is a model kit of the Thousand Sunny for One Piece, the really big edition. So that is my 2 cents for figures. So let's say you don't want to get them a figure, you're not into model kits, but you do want to get something for a manga reader. Let's get into some unique gift ideas. One that doesn't break the bank would have to be manga sleeves or manga covers. Now you can get roughly around 50 to 100 for around $10 to $20 depending on the brand and the price range and where you want to shop at. But manga sleeves are absolutely a phenomenal gift and they will not break the bank. Okay, I will leave a link to some on Amazon down below in the description box. Next would be for the music lovers in the family or friend circle or whoever you're shopping for. This would have to go to anime records. Now, buying anime records is going to be a very tricky thing to do, so I could only recommend ones that I would be shopping for right now and that would be more likely to be in stock and be available to ship before Christmas. Anything from Studio Ghibli, so we're talking Howl's Moving Castle, My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke. Next would have to be the Fooly Cooly soundtrack as a vinyl. Absolutely phenomenal soundtrack. Regardless of your thoughts on the series itself, the soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal and I highly recommend it. Next would be a pre-order. This would be for the Jujutsu Kaisen Deluxe vinyl. Of course, this is a Right Stuf exclusive, I believe, so I will make sure to leave a link for this down below in the description box, but this would make for a phenomenal gift. And of course, a classic, but a classic for a reason, the Cowboy Bebop edition vinyl. Now, I did mention before that this is a model kit, okay? But I should mention that in this community, there is a huge portion of people that really do enjoy Gundam kits and anything Gunpla related. Now, I'm not the biggest expert on anything Gunpla, but I did think that it should make its way into this video as a huge part of the community is a really big fan of those and they love building those kits and painting all of those figures and whatnot. And personally, I've seen enough of my friends do it online that's like, I wouldn't mind trying it myself. And those range, of course, from very affordable to not so affordable. I think every person here would love to have some good quality art. Okay, now I'm gonna let you guys do the shopping for that. This is just the idea out there. This can range from very affordable to very expensive depending on the size of art, quality, artist, so on and so forth. But there is a lot of homemade original art within the community as well as official licensed art as well. So it just depends on who you want to support, what's in stock, what can get to you in terms of, you know, making it in time for Christmas. I did mention Viz Media and how that is a subscription-based model to read manga on. Of course, there are subscription-based models to watch anime on, and I think that would be a great gift to give someone a subscription to Crunchyroll, Funimation, HDive, or even some of the more traditional streaming platforms such as Netflix, Hulu, or even HBO. If you get someone a subscription to HBO Max, they have the entire Ghibli collection available to stream, and they also have an agreement with Crunchyroll, and a lot of Crunchyroll's titles are on HBO Max now as well. Now, another thing to mention are collectible anime DVDs. People will buy DVDs for a myriad of reasons. There are some anime that is just almost impossible to find on streaming platforms, and you can only get the physical copies of them. Other people just like to own the DVDs as collectibles or Blu-ray discs as collectible editions themselves. I wouldn't get one unless someone is specifically asking for a certain title, because a lot of these DVDs that are out right now you can easily find on streaming platforms. However, I do think that it would make for a very lovely gift. Is a reading tote. Now, this may be out of left field for a lot of you, but this would go to my fellow park readers, dare I say. It is such a creative gift, though, that it would definitely make someone's day. Wow, I am so tired, you guys. This has been a heck of a video. I have been recording for at least 3 hours. I'm actually 2 cups of coffee in. That's crazy, man. All right, I think we can go ahead and wrap things up here. I do want to give a shout out to Joanne. Thank you so much for collaborating with me on today's video. All right, but with that being said, if you'd like to go ahead and support the channel, go ahead and mash that like button down below. It lets me know that you're watching at home and I can continue to make more content just like this. And of course, as always, nothing has changed. If you'd like to stick around for more videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you in the community. All right, everyone, I hope you have an amazing holiday season filled with cozy vibes and family, friendship, and just overall reading some good manga. Once again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good night.